welcome to the Droisys Luau With Friends. We are joined here by a very special guest today, Teresa Keng.
Aloha, hi everyone.
Hello, hello. Welcome. So the Droisys Luau With Friends is a new series that we're doing for the company. We basically are bringing in experts in their respective fields, and they're gonna talk about a particular topic for the duration of the program. So this is our first ever Droisys Luau, and we are very excited to have Teresa here today. Let me give some facts for the folks at home who don't know, maybe they don't know who you are. So Teresa Keng, you are an accomplished businesswoman. She has a business degree from UCLA. She went on to start on her own restaurant business, the very famous Milk and Honey Cafe in Fremont, California, which is where our Droisys headquarters is located in Fremont. And she is also an amazing city councilwoman for the entire city. She represents the historic Ardenwood area in North Fremont, just across the bridge from the main Facebook campus. And she's also a proud mom of two and a wife of a Marine veteran.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Justin. Very happy to be here and sharing my stories with you all. And hopefully you can learn something different, something new.
Yeah, so we're going to learn a lot today, I think, Teresa. Thank you so much. So Teresa, as the owner of the Milk and Honey Cafe restaurant, you've been going through a lot of changes within the past 6 months, ever since, shelter in place started with the whole COVID crisis. So I think today Teresa's going to give us some tips and tricks and also her own business insight into what it's like managing a successful business during these challenging times.
Right. Yeah, I think the pandemic has been nothing like we've been through before for everyone, and it's definitely affected a lot of industries, and a lot of businesses even today are not able to open, like salons and gyms. So it's been a difficult time for many people, and we've also seen a lot of layoffs. And so for the restaurant business, especially for the Chinese restaurants, we actually have seen impacts to our businesses starting in as early as January, since the pandemic was started in Asia.
Right.
Yeah, so back in February there was a press conference for the Chinese restaurants in the Bay Area. We invited reporters, and we were telling the audience, the customers, to support local businesses.
Mm-hmm.
But actually I had a kind of a different approach than they did. I was telling.
Sorry, so who's they again?
Okay, so some of the restaurants, some of the Chinese restaurant owners, they hosted, they invited media, like newspaper or online.
Right, because Chinese restaurants were some of the first to really face lower revenues because of the whole coronavirus scare starting in China.
That's true, yeah, and many of the restaurants were seeing as much as 50% decrease or even more. Like earlier on, I remember some of the presidential candidates, were visiting San Francisco, and then they were saying, "Oh, we're having lunch in Chinatown because the restaurants are empty."
I think Speaker Pelosi did that. I think.
Right. And then so many restaurants were seeing decrease in revenue as much as 80-90%. Especially the big restaurants. It was practically empty.
A lot of restaurants shut down, I think.
Yeah, it was very hard. And then so they were telling people to come in to encourage, and then to come in to support and dine. But I actually had a different approach than they did, because I think from the marketing approach, you want to tell people how good you are, or what kind of deals you have, instead of, "Oh, we're empty, so you need to come in to support us." But people are not gonna risk their health or to support your restaurants, right? So but people are always looking for deals, and they can always pick up food safely. So I think I was sharing with a lot of the colleagues earlier on that they need to reach out to new customers, and they need to connect with their current customers, letting them know that they are still open, and also reach out to new customers, because you can't force people to come out if they don't feel safe, right? So I think that was one of the key factors that we were able to stay open, and also able to retain most of our employees throughout the shelter in place.
And that's not common, right? I feel like a lot of restaurants actually had to lay off staff, and but you were able to keep most of your staff, I think. Why is that?
Yeah. So
what is your secret?
Yeah. So like I think that we feel responsible for our staff, and we want them to be able to take home a paycheck to provide for their families. And so we try to we've been reaching out from the beginning of shelter in place to our customers, letting them know that we're open, and we are pushing out different promotions and specials every week to bring customers in. And I know that as a parent with kids at home from school, and a lot of people are working from home, you're not able to cook 3 meals a day and homeschool your kids and do your work and do like meals from scratch every day. So people do want to pick up meals sometimes, and you want to let them reach out to them and remind them how good your food are, and come to try out your food, right? So at first we were taking phone calls, and we find that people want to take advantage of the deals, and they're calling in, but all at lunchtime or all at dinner time.
Right.
So we had to get our order system working online, like along with the delivery platforms, like our partners, because they were charging like 25-30%. And
like Uber Eats or Postmates, DoorDash,
Grubhub, and a lot of restaurants were using them as a small part of their revenue, but not a major part, because the average industry net profit is at like 10%. So at 30% you're not making anything. Or
sometimes you're even losing.
Yeah, you're losing money, right? And so a lot of the restaurants are either like not using those platforms or using them but making a loss, right? So later on, just last week actually, we at the Fremont City Council, we had put a cap on the fees that these delivery partners can charge the restaurants at 15% instead of 30%. So I think for most restaurants it's a much reasonable fees, because they are seeing more increase in business, and a lot of their costs are fixed. So we think that it's a more sustainable fees for restaurants to sign up and use their service, but also for existing vendors to be able to provide customers those services, deliver the meals to their homes. And I think a lot of people were seeing as much as like 50% of customers want to order from Uber Eats or DoorDash, because it's easy, click and click, and you don't need to try to get through the phone line and tell what you want to order. So this is unfortunately a trend. I mean, it's easier for the customers. That's why you see that e-commerce has been slowly replacing the brick and mortar stores.
Right, that's true.
Right, and then but with the pandemic, it's speeding up.
Kind of accelerated everything.
That's right. Yeah, and then and for restaurants, if you're not using these delivery platforms, you're losing those customers. So it is unfortunately the trend, and luckily we're able to put a cap.
Because you were able to, moving back a little bit, one thing is definitely local policy to make sure that we have regulations in place to make a sustainable environment for a lot of businesses. And you, as City Councilwoman, as a member of the Fremont City Council, definitely did your part to help all businesses. And I know that you recused yourself because you would be benefiting from potentially that kind of thing, right? That kind of bill, is that correct?
Right.
Right. So, but you help start that conversation, and I think it's completely reasonable. I think all residents would agree, to be quite honest, because if we don't have restaurants, what are we gonna do, right? If everyone goes out of business.
Right, because it is estimated that as much as 40% of small non-chain restaurants are not going to make it through the pandemic. They are going to permanently close. So that would be very, I think, a huge loss for the community, because a lot of these, mom and pop, restaurants are the local flavors that we have.
Yeah, exactly. Right? And, I just think it's, before the pandemic, right, Milk and Honey was a very successful restaurant. Whenever I went in, I would see tables and tables of customers, and it was very lively, right? Your restaurant, by the way, has a lot of character. I love the Christmas tree in July look. But I'm just, seriously, it's a very nice
family. Yeah, we try to create a family atmosphere, because we have a lot of local families that come and dine with us on the weekly, or even more often.
And how do you come up with the name Milk and Honey, by the way?
I think, it has the origin in the Bible of the land of milk and honey. When Moses led the people out, out of Egypt, and then they come to the promised land.
Do you see a lot of people from church come to your restaurant knowing that?
So
connecting with the customers. That's fantastic.
Yeah. But it's kind of like the promised land. So where everything is you enjoy the riches of the land, and so milk and honey is like all the fresh produce and all the fresh ingredients that we use. So that's kind of like the inspiration.
Oh, that's very beautiful. Wow.
Thank you.
So so it was popping before, and now it's popping still after. I mean, when I go over, I see a lot of people waiting in line to pick up food, and I think that has to do with the mobile order system that you set up very quickly with COVID. But a lot of them are very spaced out almost always. Is there a reason why? How do you make sure people are socially distanced?
Right. So actually, I was advocating for a mask mandate back in March, even like weeks before Fremont pushed out the mask mandate, because I saw that in countries where they had the mask mandate earlier on, they are able to slow down the spread of the disease and have control over it. And so fortunately, Fremont was also one of the earliest cities to adopt a
in the
mask
country,
mandate.
really.
Right. And that's why part of the reason why we see a much lower rate of infection in Fremont, and also in our zip code 94555.
94555, yes.
And so we ordered these stickers so that it would mark the places where people will be waiting on the floor. So there's like around so most people we encourage them to order online or order on the phone before they come in, and we tell them like an estimated time if you're ready in like 25 minutes, and then when they come in the food is ready, and they either had already paid or they can pay quickly.
And a lot of this is integrated with your own system that you had before. I know that you have some membership loyalty program online or something that you also push out marketing emails to?
Right. So we're lucky that we already did have a loyalty program in place, so that we were already kind of like telling connecting with our customers, telling them what this week's special is. And so because I think it's important to keep connecting with your customers and letting them know what's new, or what specials you have this week, and then and it's becoming more evident during pandemic where people are not dining in. So it has become like a really important tool for us to connect with our customers and letting them know that we're open, our new hours perhaps, and also like any specials that we have, and so that they can take advantage.
And you post quite regularly. You haven't seen a drop off and unsubscribe, right? People stay on. So the content of your the messages that you put out, do you feel like it's content driven or loyalty driven, or a mixture of both?
I think of course, yeah, it's probably a mixture of both. And people always want to get a deal, right?
Yes.
And then they don't want to have to cook 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
And just like people want to remind people of the good food they have.
Especially when you have high quality food, right? Exactly.
Right. So I think it had kept us, able to reach out to our customers, and also we were using, we pushed out a new ad campaign as well. Took better pictures of the food,
okay.
right,
New advertising campaign.
yeah,
right.
and then we're able to, putting up online ordering system of our own, and so whatever that, trying out what new things out there that would help expedite and make the ordering process easier for the customers.
So let me ask you, what was the, I guess, in percentages perhaps, like how much would you say was your investment cost into all these different technologies or approaches that you're adapting to respond to COVID versus overall?
You mean like the overall marketing cost, or?
Yeah, just in general, I guess. Anything additional that you would say? I guess what I'm trying to get at is, your business has been quite successful in contrast to many restaurants, for better or for worse, right? I think that's a part of that is due to the quality of your restaurant, but also attributed to, your business strategy. So I'm wondering, like, if that's quantifiable at all,
Yeah. So we definitely see, I feel like we're seeing new faces, new customers that have come in since the pandemic, because we're kind of doing a new ad campaign on Facebook or other social media, and I think having good pictures of your food definitely helps, and then reach out to because you can set the demographics of customers that you want to reach within the 5 mile or like radius of your location, and then you can even you can do like $5 a day to try it out, and you're not like obligated to spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so I think this is like one of the good thing of Facebook has made it success, is that they allow you to make the advertising program yourself, so that you can reach out to new audience, new customers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and people are home. They're like on their Facebook, they're on their phone, and they're looking at, oh, this picture looks good. I haven't tried it. Maybe I'll pick up some food.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. I guess moving back, are there any takeaways from that other restaurants or even people outside, because restaurants really are at the forefront of the response to business response to COVID. They had a little bit more lead up time to respond to all of it, to develop new strategies. Are there any takeaways for other restaurants or other companies that you might suggest based on your own experiences?
Yeah, so in fact, I have been sharing with a lot of local restaurants, letting them know that you really do need to get social media, get online ordering going, and also Fremont also had a it's still going on. It's called giftfremont. It's on giftfremont.com. It's a partnership with Gifty, so that if you purchase say like a $20 or $40 gift card from the participating merchants, you will get a bonus, which is paid by the city. So like say if you buy a $40 gift card, you get a $15 bonus, which is a great deal. Yeah. So each person,
and that's a new kind of idea, a new program that was adopted, right?
it started before. Yeah, so it started in June, because the economic development department in Fremont, in the city of Fremont, wanted to support the local businesses and local restaurants, and so we are one of the earlier participants, and I have been telling other restaurants or local businesses that were not aware of the program, or were not participating.
Yes, right.
Yeah, so I did see that they became part of the program after I told
it's
them
true.
about
I mean,
it.
actually, my local bakery, I finally got on there. I'm like, oh, who told you? He's like, oh, do you know Teresa Keng? You've been doing a good job.
BK Bistro, when I went to pick up
BK
and
Bistro.
I said, oh, you guys, do you guys know about this program? And then the next
one next to the Palo Alto Medical Foundation.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And then when I went in, their lights were all dark, and they try to save,
the savior, Teresa.
I really do feel bad for a lot of the local businesses, because all these things are out of their control, and like a lot of restaurants are, they've been asking me, oh, when are indoor dining going to be allowed again, and it's been keep postponing and keep pushing out because the cases are rising again. And so I'm telling them that you can rely on the opening of indoor dining to
keep your business
yeah
afloat.
yeah you have to get online ordering, you have to work with delivery partners to reach out to new customers and work on social media, getting new customers. I think all those are important. Yeah.
You are, you are really someone to be admired. I think you're such a, kind
So
heart,
sweet.
and a lot of that also takes a lot of time, right? Just stepping back a bit, you have 2 kids. I know you're the mom, right? And on top of that, you're this, a city council member of a top 100 U.S. city, right? Like in terms of population size, I think Fremont's a top 100 city.
Okay.
Like, that's a lot of stuff. Like, just same question. What's your secret? What's your magic formula? What's your secret sauce?
I think we all try to do our best.
Yeah.
I think we all are balancing our different roles at home, and especially for women. Like I think raising the children is still a primary. Like we're still the primary caregiver, even if both parents are working. But my kids have been very gracious, and they understand that I'm also on the city council, so they do always try to pop in and say hi when I'm on like on the Zoom meeting. yeah. But actually with shelter in place, a lot of events are canceled, so I've been able to spend more time. And I was first forced to work more at the restaurant because most of the front of house staff at the beginning of shelter in place, they all call in and say they were not able to come in to work because they have vulnerable family members, which I can understand.
Yes.
And so I was working probably 6 days a week or 5 days a week from open to close for the first 2 months.
Maybe that's the reason why you're also very athletic. I think some people mention online you're the most athletic city council member at the city of Fremont.
Yeah. So I try to. So it was very hard for us with distant learning because my husband was working from home and I'm an essential worker. So and my kids are both in the special needs program at Fremont School District. So then distant learning is new for them and new for all the students, but especially for them, they had to have their routines, and they just didn't want to log onto the classes even. So but we try to do our best, and I would go home and during in the afternoon and take them out for a walk, or go bike in the neighborhood, so that I think it's important for
You're
us
a true super mom, superwoman, right?
I think it's important for us to you see. I think you see more people out walking or biking than ever before,
yes, that's
because
true.
the gyms are closed, and then people try to get some exercise in. But I think I think we all try to make the best of the situation, and a lot of people are telling me that they're able to spend more quality time at home with their family members, and maybe this is kind of like the time to pause and just have more time to rest and take care of yourself, and also maybe more time to clean your home. So like spring cleaning, now it's summer, almost fall. But I think we can all take this time to take advantage of the time that we have and on hand, and everyone has been slowing down quite a bit, and in a way it's good too. So but if you ever need, I think this time also. If you were already suffering from depression, or people really need that social interaction with others. So keep checking on your neighbors, or or on the phone, or reach out to people who you think who are alone, and just being there for each other. And so I think it's very important to keep your mental health, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I have been posting on Facebook positive messages. Get out and take a walk, or there's a help hotline if you're feeling depressed, and if you need somebody to talk to. So you can always find resources that can help you if you are in such need.
I was going to ask you a question like, what would you tell your constituents, if anything? I think you really just said a lot of stuff.
Okay.
That's really valuable. Is there anything else you might add?
Yeah, so I think, just, I think this is really a special time for the community, even though a lot of people are having a hard time or, getting laid off. But I feel like I have seen our community really reaching out to each other. Like earlier on, we had, like in North Fremont, a lot of community members, they fundraise and purchase masks in bulk and donate to give out these masks for free to the community members. And because at first when the mask mandate came out, people don't even know where to buy masks. Right?
You were giving some out at your store.
Right,
yeah.
They're not even available. And then there's like these YouTube videos how to make cloth masks. But then honestly, like you need these filters, right? So like if you just use like an old T-shirt, or bandana, it's not enough. Yeah, so you need like medical grade, these like 3-layer masks, and so
I know yours is high quality. I think I see made in Taiwan down there.
but also at the beginning of shelter in place, the Fremont Unified Student Store, which works alongside of the school district, they were putting out free lunches for students because a lot of students were relying on free lunch at school each day, and now that school is
wasn't your restaurant also?
Yeah. So
when I saw that, I was very touched personally.
When I first saw that, I was just volunteering our store to be like a location where people can pick up food, because at first they were just working with Subway.
Yeah, I saw 3 restaurants on there. There was Subway, and then I think I saw Milk and Honey, and we have quite a few restaurants. But you were one of the first.
Yeah, because I saw that at first they only were working with one location of Subway, and it's in like South Fremont by Driscoll. And I thought, well, there are so many students in Fremont, and it doesn't make sense for students in North Fremont to drive all the way down to Driscoll to pick up a sandwich, right? And then,
and for those of you for our viewers, Fremont is actually the 3rd biggest geographic city in all of the San Francisco Bay Area, so it's quite large.
Yeah, so I thought that I can be a drop-off location, and people can come pick up lunches in our neighborhood, and by the next week, they were asking us if we can also provide, if we can also make some lunch boxes. So it was fun, we got to make creative menus like curry chicken, or popcorn chicken, rice, and or chow mein or fried rice, where it's like kids' favorites. So.
I definitely saw 1 or 2 comments from families who were more financially insecure, I would say, who really appreciated that. So it was very nice of you.
So
and very tasty.
So I think we
were. That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, I think by the eventually there were, I think, 9 participating local restaurants working with the student store, and I think we were probably the most popular.
You were, yes.
So
you have very you have very high quality food, Teresa.
Yeah,
I'll brag for you.
Because we have we kind of have a rotating menu, and so kids have fun eating our food. So we're very happy to be part of that program.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So I guess I do want to touch base a little bit about politics a little bit.
Okay.
So you're running for re-election this year, right?
Yes, I am.
So I don't know if the viewers know, but this is actually the first ever election in the entire history of Fremont in 64 years since the founding of the city, I think, where a city council member is running unopposed, uncontested for re-election. I know not every council member can say this. I think another fellow council member has a person running against him, and the mayor has 5 people running against her. But you are unopposed. I think something could be said about you doing a good job, right?
So I think, well, I have to do some fact checking. I'm not sure if it's for the entire history of Fremont, but I did check with the city attorney and city clerk to see, because there was one other person that filed, but he didn't complete the filing process. So I am running in the post, and which I feel very lucky and blessed. And so I'm checking with the city, if I will be on the ballot and or not. And so I had just gotten the response saying that there will still be an election, but I'm the only box to be checked.
Yeah, so they'll only be bubbling either you or no one, right? So as long as you bubble yourself, you'll make it, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I do feel like I already hired a team earlier on, so I'm still going to fulfill that contract and with my team and continue to reach out to voters and just be there for the constituents, whatever.
So you mentioned you have a Facebook page and everything. People can find you on Facebook and maybe a LinkedIn, perhaps.
Yeah,
connecting with you, perhaps, especially like our restaurants and other business owners.
Sure. Yeah. So you can find me on Facebook if you search Teresa for Fremont, TERESA for Teresa for Fremont.
Is that with a 4 or FOR?
FOR.
For Fremont.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can also support my campaign. TeresaForFremont.com. It's pretty easy, yeah. So, and you can find me on LinkedIn, and you can find me on Facebook, and we'll be very happy to answer any questions or if you have any concerns. Yeah.
Fantastic. I guess this is my final question to you. This is the luau. So, if you were in your dream island beach getaway vacation, what is one thing that you would have to do?
Okay, I think, we go to Hawaii every few years, and we always try to do snorkel.
Which island?
We go to
different every time.
Yeah, and I still like Oahu.
Oahu is very popular. I like Oahu.
Because there's a Hananua Bay.
Oh yeah. Hanauma Bay, I think.
And it's you have to go
Yeah, that's
earlier.
The one with the moon crescent shape, right?
Right. And then I'm not a good swimmer, but that's a very safe spot. Even if you are if you don't know how to swim, you can literally just dip your face in there and see colorful fishes. And but you do need to go earlier in the day so that before it gets too warm and before too many people are packing the whole beach. And if you go if you arrive not too early at 6 a.m. but I think it'll be good if you get there by 9 or 10 and you'll be able to have some good spots to see.
You're always the one giving advice to the constituents. I love it. Not everyone does that. So thank you so much, Teresa, for being here. We have a small gift for you. It's
thank you.
Mug from Droisys. So, that's our first luau. Aloha. Mahalo. So you can catch us next time. We'll be doing this regularly from now on. Hang 10, right?
Yeah.
So catch us for the next Droisys Luau. It'll probably be next week. We'll have another special guest with us to talk about a specific topic. And yeah, Teresa, thank you so much for being our first ever guest on Droisys Luau With Friends. Aloha, welcome to the Droisys Luau Party.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and everyone stay safe and healthy.
Stay safe. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.